Welcome to the Reddit selection, where the wildest, funniest, and most jaw-dropping stories from Reddit come to light. Today, we are diving into relationship advice. Sit back, grab a snack, and enjoy the show. My 37 male husband says he hasn't been abusing me, 29 female. I have been with my husband for 8 years. I have called him out on stuff that I have been told is physical abuse, but he said it isn't. I've never been put in the hospital, but I've had bruises on me a few times, and I've gotten shoved into walls. When I go to doctor's appointments, I have to look at him unsure of what to say, because if I say the wrong thing he ends up yelling at me, or making me feel bad to where I just regret what I said, even if it's about my mental health. He shoved me when I was pregnant with my first child. I thankfully landed on the bed. He held my jacket tight even though I told him to let go. That he was hurting me because my jacket was tight due to me being pregnant. It left a bruise under my arm. He shoved me against the bathroom wall, causing marks on my back. He punched the door, breaking his hand. He said he couldn't punch me in the face, so he punched the door instead. He recently grabbed my wrist really tight to take my phone and destroyed my phone when he got it. Are these forms of abuse? I've never written on this before, so I don't know if I did this right or not. Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. You don't need him to agree with what's abuse or not. This is abuse. Start taking steps at figuring out how you're going to separate safely. Here's the response from OP. We are separated, but I still live with him until I can get a job and save up enough to move to a different house. Steps have been taken, even though it's a slow process. So now you know, confirmed by others, that he's abusive. Do you feel more confident of your choice to leave him? Are you safe until you can leave? Have you arranged to have as little communication with him as possible, and to stay out of each other's way? Here's the response from OP. We are separated, and I still plan on going through the divorce, since I had another question answered. I still live in the house with him. He works 24 hours some days, so he isn't always home. When he is home, I try to keep a safe distance. But if I can't, then I try to do what he wants just to keep the peace, until I'm able to get a job and save up enough money to get my own place. If you're in the US, contact your local social services office. They can help you get out sooner, help with job searches, and even find different housing. And now for the next story. I, 30 female, found out that my BF, 25 male, has porn addiction. How do I approach this situation? I feel so alone in this situation. I found out my BF is extremely addicted to porn. I found out about his Reddit account that is follow or role-playing stuff, and it involves fantasizing about underage kids as young as 7-year-old and sexting with transgenders. I'm so depressed already, and this has hit me so bad, but I don't want to make him feel that I am judging, so he won't harm himself and would actually seek professional help. Some people I spoke online told me that it's nothing and it's just fantasy, but the stuff he was saying during role-playing, it made really sick to my stomach. I'd care if he genuinely fantasized them, or just purely doing it for fun. Since he started doing this stuff, he has been really distant from me and completely changed. Like I can't feel he's attracted to me anymore. He barely holds me or kiss me, and even make love to me. PLS help me understand him, this situation, and help me clear my thoughts on this. Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. He is fantasizing about children online? This is when you end the relationship. Yeah, that third sentence is all I need to know to say you should get TF away from that guy. That's more than an addiction. That's a deep-seated issue. Indications that he is sexually attracted to children are the line in the sand. End the relationship and tell him he must seek help. And now for the next story. Trauma response or vindictive. 39 male and 29. There's a person that I'm close to that I did hurt. I threatened to block them on 2 different occasions, and now I'm truly trying to make amends with them. But they seem completely immune to any type of reason. I know it's going to take a long time, but they spend most of the time completely avoiding me, and anytime we have any kind of interaction, usually a brief one, most of the time, it's incredibly negative, and I can't seem to be able to even have a piece of communication with. For context, I'm the first real long-term relationship they've had in almost 30 years of them being alive, the last one being years ago, and abusive. The only reason why I haven't left it is because I really do feel guilty about what I did, and I know they're acting out of trauma. Honestly, this is one of the worst experiences I've ever had. And break off our association. But there's another part of me that doesn't believe in ending friendships or relationships without really fighting for it. I'm honestly at a loss at what to do, and it's getting to the point where I'd rather just have nothing to do with them. I have no idea what I should do. I know I caused this, and I'm deeply trying to make up for it. I legitimately don't know why they're not just blocking me and telling me that they don't want to talk to me anymore. And now for the next story. I, Fate Teen, caught my boyfriend, M24, kissing my best friend, Fate Teen, at a party. How do I confront him? I'm currently sitting in my room crying right now. My boyfriend, John, and I have been together for 9 months. My closest friend, we'll call her Jenna, introduced me to him over dinner, and since then John and I have been in love. He told me that he wants to marry me. However, the two have been hanging out a lot lately, which makes me slightly uncomfortable, as Jenna is very confident and pretty, while I'm still trying to improve my self-esteem. Jenna is also his exact type of girl, and he always tells me that he finds girls who look like her attractive. I understand that they are close friends, as Jenna tells me, but I can't help but feel jealous over their friendship and the activities they do together. For example, they go out to parties together a lot, which I'm invited to but choose not to attend because I don't enjoy partying. The parties last late into the night, and he usually drops her off at her house after they're done. They also call and text very often. While John and I are together on dates, I notice he's always on his phone texting her. I've always had trouble putting up boundaries in the past, and I feel like if I told him to stop seeing her, I would come off as clingy and he would leave. This changed 2 days ago. It was around nighttime, and John had told me that he was going to go to a party with Jenna and her friends. He asked me if I wanted to come with him, and I decided not to go because I was studying for an exam later in the week. A little while after he left, one of my friends called and said that she had seen John and Jenna being touchy and making out on a couch at the party. She took a video for me as proof, and when I saw it, I almost threw up. My heart dropped, and I felt like my deepest fears and insecurities had come true. My boyfriend doesn't know that I know about them yet. As I'm writing this, it is the day after, and I haven't returned his texts yet, but is acting normally. How do I confront my boyfriend about this? I still really love him and don't know what to do. I don't want to break up with him, but staying with him knowing all this feels pathetic and degrading. He is my first boyfriend, and we shared a lot of experiences together, so I feel very attached to him. Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. You need to break up with him, ghost him, and never speak to him again. This is the way. Block his number too. A 24-year-old has no business dating an 18-year-old. You need to ask yourself why he's going after multiple women so much younger than him, and if you want to be a part of whatever power imbalance he wants to achieve in a potential relationship. No business dating an 18-year-old, and also hanging out with multiple other 18-year-olds. The fact that he's not hanging out with people who are old enough to legally drink is a red flag to me. Someone in their mid-20s shouldn't be hanging out with teenagers. ID send the video to both him and Jenna in a group text. Tell them they're assholes and deserve each other, and then block them both. They're perfect LVLFL of petty. And now for the next story. Why doesn't my M34 wife, F34, think this is cheating? I caught my wife of 10 years. We've been together since we were 17. Sending nudes and sexting to someone else. I even confronted her about it 3 times, and she lied all 3 times. Till I logged onto her Snapchat and saw in real time her sexting the guy. Then through some more investigation I find out she was sending flirty texts and images to a guy she met on a work trip, and also a work colleague. I'm just lost and broken, and she's making me feel like I'm insane for being upset about this. She said, if it was the other way around, shed. Think I'd want to add someone into the relationship. We have never been anything but monogamous. No, I'm just completely and utterly lost. Why wouldn't this be considered cheating? Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. This is textbook cheating, especially since she's doing it behind your back. You need to get out of there ASAP. It's not going to get fixed. And especially because she's pretending it's no big deal. This is what actual gaslighting is. She's actually convincing him that sending naked pictures of herself and flirting with other men isn't a big deal, and he's so close to falling for it that he's here asking about it. Nah, You can't log into Snapchat on 2 different devices at a time. At all. It's a security thing. It's rage bait. Just ignore it. That's ridiculous lol, and isn't the case. I'm logged into my Snap on my phone, iPad, laptop, and second phone all simultaneously. I snap from my phone, and my iPad chimes across the room. You must be his wife. And now for the next story. My 29 female, boss best friends. 45 female, only son. 22 male, passed last week. Am pregnant with her son. Am having mixed emotions in this whole situation. I feel like a traitor, like I stabbed her in the back for sleeping with her son. At the same time, I really cared about him, and I loved him. I wanted a family with him, and we were seeing each other for about 9 months. Officially already. I've known her for a little over 2 years, and she's helped me get on my feet. I work for her business, and I now manage all the employees. I started off living in my car, and she gave me a place to stay while I made some money to find an apartment. After that, she started giving me more work, and even started giving me some work at her home. She trusts me completely, and I guess I broke that trust by seeing her son without her permission. I have mixed feelings because I did things the wrong way, but at the same time I treated her son like a king, and I know he was happy with me before he left. She has no idea about our relationship we had, and we were gonna tell her. But life took a bad turn. I know he left before his time because he had many great things coming, and now I have to raise our child with him, absent. When is the right time for me to go tell her the truth, and that she's going to be a grandmother? I love her, and I don't want this to hurt her more. Too long. Didn't read. My best friend's son passed away in an accident. I was secretly seeing him, and I'm having his baby in a couple of months. Edit. I forgot to clear things up. She knows I'm pregnant. She just doesn't know who the father is. These comments really aren't super helpful. If I could trade my life for his, I would. I'm only willing to live on for my baby now, but I have nothing else for me. Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. I'm sorry for your loss, and for hers, and for your child who will grow up without its father. Her son was old enough to make his own life choices without his mom's permission. However, it is kind of messy to secretly date your boss's child. I would tell her that you lied to her about knowing who the baby's father was because you were scared about her reaction, and you need to apologize for that. Tell her that you would be glad to give her some space and time to process, and that you're hoping that she will eventually be excited to be a grandmother, even though it's a lot to process right now. Wow, this is a heck of a situation, and I'm sorry for your loss, honestly. I'm not sure what the root problem was for her. She clearly respected and cared for both her child and you. Logically, I would think that she would be relieved and happy to have a grandchild from her recently lost son, but I don't know all the details here. You might as well let her know now, assuming you're far enough along in the pregnancy to communicate that. Ideally, the two of you can work as a team, as I'm sure that's what her son would have wanted. Here's the response from OP. I hope she's happy about it. I love her, and I loved her son so much. If she would have approved, I think I would have married him eventually. It's been tough, but I at least know I'll have a reminder from him. And yeah, I am more than halfway along the pregnancy. I just have been holding his mother off on knowing he's the father. She's excited for my pregnancy, she knows that. But she doesn't know it's his baby. Do you know why she didn't want the two of you together? Outside of her resistance, this seems like a good situation initially. Here's the response from OP. She didn't actually say that ever. I just thought he was off limits since I'm her best friend and that's her son. Like and subscribe for more awesome daily Reddit content. And don't forget to hit the bell to get notified when I upload new videos.